Now we are talking to you about the weekend sports. We're going to find out exactly what happened over the past weekend. I've got David Brooke with me right here from Sport 24. Good morning, David.
Good morning.
Back in the hot seat.
Back in the hot seat. You know, you had a model here 10 minutes ago. Now you have me, so apologies. But you know, the things that I'm subjected to so early in the morning with, you know, Ewan and his shorts, you know, someone needs to come along and somebody needs to get a tan. I'm not saying who, but you know, there's a couple of guys that do.
Well, speaking about tans, I'm sure they got plenty of it. The cricket boys, what happened?
Well, they were off this weekend, so they could work on their tan. You know, there was a 5-day test match happening supposedly, and it lasted 3 days. You know, we talked about it on Friday morning that they needed 155 runs on the final day. They absolutely cruised it. Graham Smith and Hashim Amla were absolutely unbelievable. The batting on the second day was woeful from both sides. All of a sudden, day 3 kicks in, and the pitch also kicks in and wakes up. And it was, you know, it was actually perfect for batting. And Graham Smith's been under huge pressure lately, you know, with his captaincy and with his batting. And he gave the selectors a proper push and said, "Listen, I'm still here to stay. I'm still the #1 man." And he did a fantastic job under huge pressure. He's the man for the big occasion. He's got proper BMT. Hashim Amla again, he also needed a few runs under his belt. He was the captain during the one-day series. And he struggled a bit with the dual role of captaincy and batting. So his batting was back on form, which was good. Vernon Philando, he was on debut, Cape Cobra's boykie. He got 8 wickets on his debut. Man of the match performance. Couldn't have asked for more in front of his home crowd. He'll now get another run against Australia in the second test, which starts on Thursday at the Wanderers in Joburg. And Imran Tahir, the spinner, he didn't really get much chance in the first test because it wasn't really a wicket for spinners to bowl on, unfortunately. You know, between him and the Australian spinner, Lyons, they got about 20 overs between them the entire match. So it was definitely a fast bowler wicket. He'll get another chance in the second test. So hopefully, you know, we can't lose the series now, which is great, but you also don't want to go now and draw. You want to go and win the series 2-0, always against the Aussies. You want to cream them.
Definitely. Taking a look at the one day.
Yeah, the one day cup locally is heating up. It's reaching the halfway stage now, and there was a good weekend for the Cobras and the Knights, both getting 2 victories. So it's looking good for them. The Dolphins finally got a game. We spoke about it on Friday that all of their games have been rained out. I told you they were going to Pretoria. It was a full game. They beat the Titans, so it's looking good for them as well. It's them and the Knights and the Cobras leading. So yeah, it's almost halfway stage there.
So moving over to soccer.
Yeah, Bafana. You know, Kat will be happy. I called it on Friday. I said, Kadlecho Mpela needs to score. And he did that. So, you know, we were 1-0 down. It was an own goal by Gaka. And then we came back and we got a 1-1 draw, which is a hell of a good result against a strong Ivory Coast side. We need to start producing results like that, you know.
Yeah, we do.
We now go to Zimbabwe actually on for Tuesday. We've got our final match of the year. So it's been an interesting year for Bafana. There's been a lot of ups and been lots of downs, but hopefully now we can move forward.
Well, I think we can now say watch this space.
Exactly.
Definitely. Well, taking a look at something a little bit more different that I personally love is swimming.
Some big news this weekend. Chad Leclerc, a 19-year-old South African swimmer, he won an overall World Series title, which came with a little sum of $100,000 US. That's a bit of spending money for a 19-year-old. And you know what? It runs in the tradition of the Cameron van der Berg, the Ryk Neethling, the Roland Schoemans, where we have the star swimmer coming through the ranks, and it's quite amazing how we just bring these guys through. You know, it's excellent to see our young guys, our young swimmers on the world stage, taking the titles, taking the dollars, you know, and hopefully getting Olympic golds, you know, moving forward.
I think so.
London's coming up in 2012, so it's a big year for South African swimming, and traditionally our swimmers have always done well. So hopefully Leclerc and Cameron van der Berg can carry on that tradition.
Wow, lovely stuff. Well, David, thank you so much for joining us right here in studio, back in the hot seat.
I think
you'll be back again towards the end of the week to tell us what's happening. Well, from the land of sport, we are now going to find out what's happening with cycling and how exactly one prepares for one of SA's biggest road challenges.
Stay with eXpresso and SABC3.